Hello fellow Last Cloudia players, we are back at it again with another lore video on the hottest topic in game. And yes, that pun was low hanging fruit and I'm not ashamed of it. But yes, the girl that is turning up the heat all over Last Cloudia, Eliza, or as she should formally be known as, Regent of Fire Eliza. Yes, the seasoned simp of LC is now still a simp, but stronger all for rolling. Or, I guess that was a shot. I'm also making this video because upon checking my notes on my last video and rewatching it, I didn't really delve too deep into her life, mostly focusing on her male counterparts. And now with this new release and more info, it is only right that I give her the respect that she deserves. As stated before in the last lore video, she was born to an impoverished noble family. With the financial strain she faced, the dream of attending a magical institute was just that, a dream. Yet with a letter of recommendation from the swords master of the prince and his best friend, she was admitted. And there she was a prodigy of the Aldana Institute of Magic. At one point, she was such a prodigy that a teacher challenged her to teach a class in order to undermine her, and to his surprise and horror, not only did she succeed, but she also taught better than him, figuring out that each student would learn differently, and she made material for each individual student in order to help them excel further. Speaking of which, let's take a brief dive into the history of the Institute. The Aldana Institute of Magic was originally the red-headed stepchild of the Odell Institute of Magic, meant to be used as a place to dispose and forget about the anti-Lauxius group that had formed within the original Magical Institute. Seeing as back then, either you followed Lauxius, or you were an enemy of the state, or the world. Who knows? It is stated in the text of the Institute's lore, it was crudely built and barely equipped to even be called an Institute of Magic. However, it was given the name Odell Institute of Magic Branch Campus, and the anti-Lauxius faction was sent there with haste. Yet even with this major setback, these magical crusaders weren't disheartened. No, they were actually happy about this. They were free, and this was their hope for a better future. These words were spoken by the first dean of the branch. That dean's name, Gartova, or Gartova. I don't know, it's spelled very weird. But as time went on and the number of atrocities committed by the Lauxius faction and followers, and the more heinous that they became, it would only serve to have more applicants applying to the offshoot in order to oppose the God of Ruin and his followers. This surge in new prospects helped in the campus branch eventually surpassing the Odell branch in power and declaring themselves independent and renaming themselves the Aldana Institute of Magic. Now, when the war broke out, the Aldana Institute remained educational and didn't directly take part in the war. But with so many graduates wanting to fight for king and country, remember that line for later, it would only be a matter of time before the Institute was seen as a threat to the subjugation of the world under the God of Ruin. And we all know how much he loves being opposed. But as we all know, humanity won the war, sealing the God of Ruin away. In this matter, the Institute immediately began the process of rebuilding, or so it would hope, before it was pulled into an entirely different direction. What was that direction? Another war. That war being the War of Aldana's independence. Remember that line about king and country? Well, the Institute wasn't actually a united front. Why do you ask? Remember, half of its original applicants were from Odell. Yes, they may have become powerful mages, but they wouldn't abandon their homeland because of it. While this loss was substantial, it also was another liberating moment, seeing as now they didn't have to pick a side in the war, which made them a passive observer, allowing themselves to reconcile and rebuild. Of course, once the war ended, none of the sorcerers who left returned, which stifled the return to the former glory that it once had. However, it was Solel, the original catalyst of the war, that brought it back to its former glory, giving it as much support as possible in rebuilding and reestablishing the Institute at the cost of the Institute's much admired independence. You see, the Aldana Institute of Magic was made for those who purely wanted to study magic, who didn't want to be under the god of ruin and wanted to improve themselves in ways that they couldn't by having to hide their views on how they felt about the god of ruin. Aldana was their fresh start. And seeing as it is a pivotal part of the story, at least in chapter 1, you can see why the god of ruin had such a disdain for it. Losing all those powerful mages, and now with Odell technically being under Aldana, seeing as Prince Roland does have his estate there, as you will know in the story, it is admirable to see how even a major or minor setback can be used to liberate yourself. Remember that. Life lesson. This same institute would be the starting point to Eliza's fiery rise to power and standing. I'm sorry, but I'm not going to stop with the fire jokes. All of these are pre-written, and if I have a chance to use them, they were most definitely used. Again, as stated before, recommended by Lanceville's sister, upon stepping onto the campus and into the schools, she quickly showed that her natural talent and prowess in the arcane arts far surpassed the average student in the university, along with her natural ability to lead others and seeing the ability she has to see what is hidden in plain sight. She flourished, having many associates since she didn't consider them friends, and eventually, when she left, becoming a liaison for the Department of Information, her many subordinates grew, and in all honesty, she still didn't trust him. She only trusted in two people: her crush Roland and her childhood friend Lanceville, what she believes are the only two competent enough to get most jobs done that she is unable to handle. But hey, we never dove into how she came into her current position in the last video either, did we? Let's get to it. In her younger years, before even Prince Roland was fully liked and loved by the nation, many didn't see him as fit to be a ruler. And with her being outspoken about her support for Roland, would cause her work in the Department of Information to be discredited or pushed to the side. For months and months, she struggled to make a name for herself. And finally, her chance came when she stumbled upon a piece of info that led to a certain, let's call it a checkbook, being skillfully hidden within the files of the department. It was none other than the current director of the department, the same one that had been making sure that any of her accomplishments and her awards and her acknowledgments would be pushed to the side, had been abusing his current position to line his own pockets at the expense of those in the kingdoms. Unsure of what to do with this information, she asked her friend Lanceville to give her a chance to speak to the prince, in which she asked him what should she do. The prince responded, "Do not worry about me. Do what you see is right." When the time came, she collected all of her evidence and had the man formally arrested by presenting all of her evidence to the chief of staff. Though she was happy with this and finally getting the recognition that she deserved, it wasn't all rainbows and gumdrops. No. Upon having the man evicted from his illegally obtained mansion and estate, she was, if you remember in the last video, given a cat that she had to take care of. That cat was the daughter of the man that she'd evicted. The daughter had no idea that her father had done such horrendous things, and Eliza, feeling sorry, of course took care of the cat. When Roland instructed Lance and her to seek power, she went on a journey of self-reflection. It was through this that she learned the power of unity and support overshadows the power of self-reliance and haughtiness. She does find herself wondering what training Lanceville has undergone while he was away. After all, with this newfound self-discovery, she found that the dormant powers that lied within her were locked behind her own self-reliance, not letting herself be vulnerable to a degree. Eliza is the best at reading in between the lines, seeing the unseen connections no one else sees. She is a master analyst, along with being a powerful mage. And I think that is all. What do you guys think about this video? I know that I started a lot through here. It was a lot to pack in, and honestly, I think I've glossed over a few things, but they didn't really seem important to the grand scheme of things when dealing with someone such as her. Eliza, I'll say this, Eliza to me was like the Sakura of the Aldana trifecta. She I'm not gonna say she was weak, but like story-wise, she was kind of and I feel that with this event that's going on right now, they definitely gave her some heavy character development, which I love to see. Her new aesthetic design, her little dominatrix vibes, I'm sorry, this video is not for kids, and the confidence that she shows, because as stated in her event, every time she tried to take on the main cast of characters by herself, she was thwarted to the point where she felt such loathing and, I'm not going to say disgust, but disappointment with herself, even when her friend, her childhood friend, saved her from Zax, I do not know how to pronounce his name correctly. When her childhood friend Lanceville saved her when they were in the temple with Salmia, she still felt hopeless. And you could see her realizing that maybe she doesn't need to try to take on the world alone to be noticed. Near the end, when, again, spoilers, when she's fighting with Kyle and all the other heroes of Grand Zelia to make sure that Kyle and them can take on the Lord of Ruin Laoxias. So I'm definitely happy with this design. Special shout out to, he's in the Facebook page, his name is Lance. I'm not gonna say his whole thing, but Lance, you know who you are. Special shout out to you. He's the one that provided me with the text for Eliza and the Aldana Institute. And special shout out to Shakir, aka Zan. He provided me with the video of Eliza, her new form, because like I haven't pulled for her. Don't let those crystals fool you. This is on the Steam one, and it's only showing my free crystals. It's not showing my actual crystals that are on my phone. So yeah, I have not pulled for her. I will not be pulling for her. All my crystals and resources will be saved for the 2.5 anniversary. And I was sitting around and I was like, no, I'm gonna give her respect. So that's why you don't see her. That's why I have regular Eliza. Leading Ray and AOG Lily, they all got their, well, AOG Lily and Ray got their buffs, and they're also they also give like 50% points in her event. And yeah, I think that's it. This is your boy Dojo signing out. Let me know the support for the last Lord video was crazy. Like it was actually crazy. I didn't actually expect people to watch it, let alone like it. So I really appreciate it. And like I said before, down in the comment section, let me know what characters you want me to make a lore video on. I feel like I did better in this one than I did in the last one. Of course, I had some stuttering. I'm trying to read and making sure that the game is going, but once I get more comfortable, you feel me, with my voice, and you know, some more passion in it. Like I have passion, but once I get more passion in it, more, you know, I don't know what the word is, but yeah, it's your boy Dojo. I'm gonna stop rambling. This video's already gone on long enough. Thank you. Comment section below what other characters you want, what other videos you want. What to do, YouTube? It's your boy Dojo. I hope you all liked the video. I'm sorry that I'm looking kind of rough right now, but we gonna handle it. I realized while editing that I didn't give a shout out to two very important people. They actually helped me put this together because I didn't summon for Eliza nor the Arc. So shout out to Lance and Shakir, aka Zan. Yeah, they're the ones who, you know, helped me get the text from both the Arc and Eliza herself. So a special shout out to both of you. I appreciate you both, along with the whole Last Cloudia community. And yeah, more videos coming. I'm gonna be throwing in a little bit of new content, trying to diversify myself a little bit. And yeah, 2.5 anniversary about to be lit. Can't wait to see y'all. We should be getting some info fairly soon. It's only 8 days left in the event for Eliza, so probably around the 4 or 5 day mark we should definitely be getting some more news. So that being said, thank you. I'm about to go watch some Tokyo Revengers, and I'll catch y'all all in the next video. Peace.